Hi, this is Brian Lazar with the Colorado Avalanche Information Center, and welcome to your weekly Avalanche Outlook. So as you can see here from our homepage map, we've got a large portion of the state sitting at moderate danger. The Grand Mesa zone is sitting at low danger, and we have generally safe avalanche conditions out there. But you notice in our easternmost forecast zones, that's the Front Range in the north, and then Pikes Peak in the middle there, and in the Sangre de Cristo Range, we've got considerable danger, and that's largely due to events that took place earlier this week. So earlier this week, we had a nice little storm system roll through. The snowfall favored the easternmost mountain ranges. So that's everywhere from the Sangre de Cristo Range north to the Wyoming border through the Front Range forecast zone. This storm snow came in and was accompanied by very strong westerly winds. This graph shows a weather station over near Breckenridge. And if you look at the bottom panel here, you can see wind speeds. The arrows indicate the wind direction. So you can see we had westerly winds throughout the storm period. Peak gusts were reaching upwards of 100 miles an hour. And then you can see here like the same kind of situation at Berthoud Pass with gusts into the 80s or 90 miles per hour. And what this did was drift all of that recent storm snow into soft slabs near and above tree line. And we saw a rash of wind slab avalanches. So here's some examples of the wind slab avalanches that took place over the last several days. So this one is near the Aspen Zone on Baldy Mountain. You can see here we had one near the Holy Cross Wilderness. These are all, as you can see, on wind-loaded slopes right below ridgeline. These cornice features give away the fact that wind was drifting onto these slopes and creating those soft slabs. Here's one down in the North San Juan zone. It's on Ingram Peak. You can see the wind slab avalanche that took place right here in this steep rocky slope. Again, if we move further north, another wind slab avalanche up near Rollins Pass. That's between kind of Eldora and the Winter Park and Fraser Valley area. So these wind slab avalanche problems are slowly tapering off. We should see a dramatic wind down by the end of the day today on Thursday, and any lingering wind slab avalanche problems should have completely run their course by Friday. As we move through Friday, the temperatures rebound and get quite a bit warmer than what we've seen on Thursday. So you can expect about a 10-degree increase in temperatures by Friday. This can likely spur some loose, wet avalanche activity in this freshly drifted storm snow. That activity is going to start in the southern mountains, probably on Friday early, and then move up into the northern mountains later in the day on Friday and into Saturday. The other main avalanche concern, and this is the one that's been plaguing us since we buried the weak layer that formed in our dry spell that was midwinter, so late January into early February, is this persistent slab avalanche problem. This problem is healing. They're becoming harder to trigger, but they're still breaking in surprising ways. These are the kinds of avalanches that you can trigger from a distance or from below, and so they deserve a lot of caution when you're approaching steep slopes. They're generally confined to northerly facing slopes near and above tree line, and you're going to see avalanches like this. So this is near the Betty Beer Hut in the Aspen Zone, and this just took place on Wednesday. Here's another avalanche view. You can see that the skier tracks here triggered this avalanche remotely or from a distance. So in this case, the skiers were safe, but you can also imagine triggering it from down low in this debris field here, in which case you would not be. And this is why we're cautioning that you need wide buffers around steep terrain on those higher elevation northerly facing slopes. And this is an example of what our spring snowpack looks like on April 5th. And so you can see our layer of concern are still those dry spell facets that sit in the middle of our snowpack. Like I said, those weak layers are healing. They're showing signs of strengthening, but they are not completely healed and not off our radar. That's going to drive our moderate danger through the weekend, despite the warm up and the end of the wind slab avalanche activity. So by late into the weekend, we can see here in this numerical model run, this is the GFS model, but you can see that we've got precipitation that comes back on Sunday and lasts through Wednesday. This is small amounts of snow, kind of 2 to 6 inches every day with some cooler temperatures. And so that will put an end to kind of the loose, wet avalanche activity by late in the day on Sunday. And as we move into Monday, we could have enough new and drifting snow to have the wind slab avalanche come back into our radar. So we're going to have this lull in wind slab avalanche activity, an uptick in loose wet, and then a return of wintry weather late into the weekend and into early next week. We could see an increase in danger early next week back to considerable because of fresh wind slab avalanche concerns. So again, springtime in Colorado, conditions are dynamic. Things are changing pretty frequently, almost every day. between now and mid next week. So it's really important that you stay tuned on current conditions by getting your avalanche forecast at colorado.gov/avalanche or on the CAIC mobile app. Stay safe out there, enjoy the changing weather, and we will see you back here next week.